Record. Okay, so rocking side to side, massaging out that lower back. You can do small circles. You can just go side to side, whatever feels the best to you. That's what you'll get to do, right? And you can hug your right knee to your chest. Left leg is out straight or on the ground, and you're going to go side to side there, right? So you can go nice and easy, nice and slow, right? Sometimes it just feels good to go slow during the warm-up. I think so. I like to move slow myself. So as you go on side to side, still start to think a little bit about that core and keeping that lower back pressed down. If your back's tight, remember, put that other foot down on the ground and it doesn't have to kick out straight. It's really whatever feels good to you. And we're going to go one more to each side. So here's one. And here's two. Then we're going to have one leg up straight. Doesn't matter which one. Grab them behind the hamstring or calf. And we're going to alternate there, right? So going side to side. Remember, you can have one foot down on the ground if you need it. And you're just trying to get nice and stretched out and feeling good. Right? Always feeling good. And if your hamstrings are tight, you can even kind of hold it a little bit longer if you want to. It's really up to you of what feels good, right? Sometimes it feels good just to hold that hammy stretch. So we're going to go one more to each side. Here is one. Here is two. Then we're going to relax our legs down. And we're going to go into some lovely bridges, right? So we're going to inhale in. Exhale, press up. Squeeze the glutes. Nice, easy, coming back, right? So just pressing up and down into that bridge, squeezing those glutes at the top, stretching out the lower back, trying to get out of any kind of cramps through those calves or hamstrings that we can, right? And then that's all it is, right? It's just basic bridges, no big deal. So just nice and easy here. So on your next motion, we're going to stay up in that bridge, and we're going to go up and down on those tiptoes. So holding up in our bridge, still squeezing the glutes, stretching out those calves, stretching out those ankles, and just feeling good, right? And we get to do all kinds of fun band stuff today, right? You're going to love it so much, you're going to want to cut the band up. You're going to, no, you won't do that. And then your next motion, we're going to stay up on our tiptoes, and we're going to bridge up and down like that. So trying to stay on those tiptoes. If the tiptoes don't feel good, you don't have to do it, right? But if you can, try to do that just so we can keep those calves activated. And we got about 10 more seconds here. Nice and easy, pressing up and down. And then on your next motion, you're going to stay up and we're going to hold. So you're holding up nice and high in that bridge. You're staying up tall on those tiptoes. We've got about 5 seconds, and then we're going to get back to that core. You got 3, 2, 1. Relaxing those heels and hips down. We're going to go hands behind the head, and we're going to do modified bicycle crunch. So you go opposite elbow, opposite knee, and you're always going to have one foot down on the ground, right? So you keep that lower back down. When you have one foot down on the ground, it makes your back feel a little bit better, right? Because you don't have to be crazy. We're just working out. We're just getting started, right? We'll get crazy in about 10 minutes here. So just going side to side, so you could come down in between every single crunch if you want, or you can stay up on those shoulder blades and go side to side. I think it feels better to stay somewhat up, but you don't have to. It's up to you. Right? We got 15 seconds. Just nice and easy side to side. We're going to go 10 more seconds. Taking your time, paying attention to the lower back. We're going to go 5 more. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Then we're going to relax our head down. So we're going to do a little bit more core bracing. This time you're going to keep your head down. So you have the option. You could have both legs in tabletop, or if your back is feeling tight, go ahead. You can have one foot down and keep the other in tabletop, right? So you can go 1 and 1 or both. So just to get started, we're going to tighten up that core. So pushing that lower back down, kind of memorize that feeling and making sure your shoulders are relaxed. You're going to inhale in through your nose. As you exhale, you're going to kick either both legs or one of those legs up straight as high as you can. Point your toes, and you'll squeeze and hold for a second, and then nice, easy inhale. You'll come back to tabletop, right? So it's a slow, controlled motion. You're really paying attention to your core and your lower back, right? And if you need to have one foot down, because your back is feeling tight, that's okay. It's still gonna work you, right? And I'll tell you when to switch legs if you're modifying, right? So if you modify, you'd have that one foot down, other legs up. And remember, you don't have to be in a crunch. You wanna try to stretch out those legs as much as possible. So when you stretch out those legs and point your toes, your legs might even start to shake a little bit, and that's pretty cool, right? And if you add one foot down, you can go ahead and switch, right? If you're doing both feet, keep on hanging on there. But if you do need to modify, of course you can, right? So don't ever think you can't modify. If you start off not modifying and need to, that's okay, right? There's no wrong way to modify. No. So on our next motion here, we're gonna keep our legs up straight. As you can, you're gonna point your toes and really draw in those core muscles, almost so that you almost feel like your hips kind of roll up off the floor. So your abs are nice and tight here. We're gonna bring our hands behind our head, and we're gonna do some slow crunches. So exhale, we'll lift up. Inhale, come back. Remember, if you want one foot down on the ground, of course you can. It doesn't matter which one. Your goal is to just try to focus on that core and keep those legs nice and straight. Right, so it doesn't have to be fast. Do what you need to do to focus on the form of it. We've got about 10 seconds, right? Try to keep those legs as straight as you can. We're gonna do 2 more crunches. Here's 1, here is 2. You're gonna relax your head down and relax those legs down, right? So we're gonna go up into our bridge here again. This time we're gonna have our feet and knees together, right? So we're gonna press up into our bridge and then come back down. So you wanna try to keep your feet and knees together as close as you can, right? We wanna squeeze the inner thighs. We wanna wake up those glutes a little bit more. And it's a little bit more challenging because your feet are together. So if it feels like your hips aren't coming up very high, that's okay, right? Because it's harder to get up higher when your feet are together, right? Less base of support here, right? So just go up as high as you feel you can, right? We did a few of these bridges yesterday. We're just on a bridge kick this week, I guess. So on your next motion, you're gonna hold that bridge, and then with your knees, you're just gonna kind of slightly let them go wide and back. So we're warming up our glutes here, we're warming up our legs, our inner thighs, right? Because of course, you will have the band today, right? So this is a little foreshadow for you. Okay, we got about 10 seconds, right? And then we're gonna relax, and we're gonna go to our side. So keeping that core tight, keep breathing. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're gonna relax and you're gonna go to your side. Yeah. So either side, I don't care. Starting with that top leg, right? You know the drill, pointing our toe. We're just gonna lift our leg up and down, right? So don't feel like you have to get to a certain height on this. You wanna just go up as high as you feel you can, and you can relax down lower on your arm if you want to. If that helps you just relax in that posture, that's okay too, right? You're warming up, make it feel good. Because in a little bit, I won't let you let it feel good. So we got 15 seconds here, and then we're gonna pulse our leg. Yay, pulsing. I know, everyone's favorite. So now we're just gonna pulse our leg. So just a small up and down motion. It doesn't even have to be fast. You could go smaller and slower if you want, right? If it's faster, I don't know, it burns the same. So whatever makes you feel good today. Right, and then in about 15 seconds, we're gonna start doing some circles. Oh boy, we're all about those fun circles, okay? So 10 seconds here. Keep on breathing, right? Thinking about that posture. So what we're gonna do now is a small forward circle, right? So as you're doing that circle, try not to go too large so your body's not going crazy, right? If you are wanting to do a larger circle, sometimes it's easier to control if you're up higher on your arm, right? But we're just going nice and easy forward, right? And then now you're gonna reverse, so we're going backwards, right? And if it doesn't feel like a circle, that's okay, because after a while, these shapes don't feel like much of anything, right? So keep on circling, keep on moving. And now we're gonna mess with your brain. You're gonna go a reverse circle, a forward circle. So you're gonna reverse and then go forward. Reverse and then go forward, right? So we're alternating between both circling directions, right? So you gotta use a little bit of brain power for this one and a little bit of leg power. But the good news is we got 15 seconds and we go switch sides, right? Because you're gonna be like, yeah, good thing, I'm ready to switch sides. So let's go one more circle each way. Here's 1 and 2. Go ahead and relax. And we're gonna switch sides. And taking our time, Once you are situated, you can start with that top leg. We're just going to kick up and down, right? So trying to point that toe, keep that leg as straight as possible. And we're just lifting up and down, right? And don't worry about how high up that leg comes. Just go up as high as you comfortably feel it will, right? You've got control of that range of motion, right? I don't, right? I can't come through the screen and kick your leg up for you. Be kind of funny if I could, a little scary, but kind of funny. So we have 15 seconds until we pulse, right? And this leg's already tired. Right, we got 10 seconds. And you're gonna pulse, so pointing that toe, leg is nice and straight, right? We want that ankle and knee all moving together. Pulsing, 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 no big deal. So as you're pulsing here, still think of your posture. We've got about 10 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, until we do our circles already. How exciting is that? Okay, so forward circles. So we're just circling, 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 right? Circle, 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 circle. Okay, and then now we get to do our reverse, right? It's only 15 seconds of each of those, but it feels like dynamite fire. Okay, so trying to control that range of motion, right? Try not to let your leg go too wacky. And here comes the combo. So you'll go backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, right? So you're alternating between those two circles, right? And even if it doesn't feel like a circle, that's okay. It's almost kind of like you got to do like a half circle almost to complete the both, right? That's why we got to go both directions of it. So you got about 15 seconds here, right? So that's not bad. I feel like this side went a lot quicker. Right? We got 5 seconds. So let's go one more each way. Then you're going to relax. And we're going to get rolling for the day. So with your band, right, all you need is a band today. If you don't have a band, you don't have to use it. But you can either use a mini loop, right? Or if you have a long loop, right? Or not a long loop, a long band, you're going to tie it. So if you're tying your long band, what you're going to do is you're going to wrap that band around your ankles, right? You want your feet together. And then on one side, you're just going to tie that band so it's kind of somewhat snug to that ankle, right? So you're kind of making your own loop. If you have the mini loop, you don't have to tie anything. You're just going to put the band around your ankles, okay? So for this first move, we're going to do a lot of kind of glute or core and hips, okay? So you're on your back, and you have two options. You could do a tabletop variation of this, or if you want to make it harder, your legs are up straight. So we're going to have our hands behind our head. Okay, so I'll start with the tabletop version, and then I'll show you how to advance it if you want. So as you crunch, you're going to crunch, and your legs are going to come wide as you can. Your head comes down, your legs come together. So make sure you're pointing your toes so that your knees and ankles come wide also. Okay, ready? And go. So you're going to crunch, your legs will come wide, you'll push that back down, you'll slowly come back in, right? So here's your tabletop version of it, right? If you wanted to make it a little bit harder, you would just have your legs up in the air and do that same move, right? So do either variation, whatever feels good to you. If your back was really, really not liking this with your legs in the air, that's no big deal, right? You could have your feet down and still do a wide motion there. So kind of pick and choose what you feel like you can do. On your next motion, you're going to hold your crunch and you're going to pulse your legs wide, right? I got a little bit of a rip in my band, so if it snaps, that's what happens. So as you're pulsing wide, you want to make sure there's no slack in that band, right? So you're basically going as wide as you can, and you want to keep that motion that whole time. Okay, so you could do tabletop legs. Your feet can even be down on the ground. You would just pulse your knees. Okay, so now you're going to hold your resistance as wide as you can, and you're just going to crunch up and down, right? So your legs are holding that resistance. Your core is just crunching up and down. So the same thing, right? You could have tabletop legs. You can even have your feet down and just scoot your feet apart, and it's still going to activate those glutes with the core, right? So just go in the range of motion that's going to feel best to you, okay? And in about 10 seconds, we're going to crunch and pulse again. How fun. Okay, so you're going to crunch, hold that crunch, you're pulsing your legs, right? So you could do tabletop legs. Your legs can be down right on the floor, and you're even pulsing your knees wide and back as you keep the core down. Right, so there's lots of variations you can do with this one, okay? So try to keep on moving. Your focus is keeping that lower back down. and you're trying to add resistance in that band that whole time. So never let it have any sag in it. You want to keep on moving. It should be having a pretty good burn going here. The next thing you're going to do is hold those legs as wide as you can. You're holding that crunch, and we've got an isometric hold, right? So this is the worst part of it, but it's good for you. So as you're doing the isometric hold, really, really, really focus on your breathing, right? Think of pushing that lower back down and squeezing your core even more, and try to hold that resistance the best you can. Okay, you've got 10 seconds left here. You're doing a great job. You're almost there. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, so now you're gonna bring your band up above your knees, right? So kind of get that knee, or get your band in position there. So it's going right above the knees, and we're gonna do some bridges here. So for all of these bridges, you will have both feet down, so that's good news, right? And you just wanna focus on holding resistance in that band. So this first move, you wanna have your feet are gonna be about hip width apart. So what you're gonna do, we're gonna press up into your bridge, you're gonna go wide into your band, your legs come back, you come down. Okay, ready? And go. So you're gonna come up, wide, back, down. Up, wide, back, down, right? So you're just adding resistance. We're kind of getting used to this move to start with. And of course, since you've been doing my workouts, you know we will be adding as we go. Of course, that's just to be expected, right? You're like, all right, I can handle this. And you've got 15 seconds. And then we're gonna stay up in that lovely bridge, of course, right? So just nice and controlled, right? Really try to stretch that band, right? Maybe you could do double bands if you feel like your band isn't heavy enough. So on your next move, you're gonna stay up in that bridge, let your knees go wide, and you're gonna do a pulsing motion, but you're gonna go slow. So it's kind of just like a half motion, right? You're going wide, slowly back, wide, slowly back. So you're holding that resistance that whole time, but we're going a little bit slower than usual because it makes you use your muscles a little bit more, right? So you're holding your bridge, your legs are just going wide and back. It should be burning up those glutes pretty well, and your thighs, the sides of your legs, right? And we've got 15 seconds, and then we're gonna keep our legs wide as we bridge. Ha! Oh yeah, right? You knew when we were bringing it up above our knees, it was bad news bears. So keep those legs wide. Now you're bridging up and down. So you've got kind of a wide knee bridge going here. So try not to let your knees cave in, right? You want to keep your knees wide. You're pressing up and down. You're holding that resistance. And this is getting your glutes fired up so much, right, that you're like, this is terrible. But it's good for you, right? Remember that. Remember why you're doing it, right? It's important to remember that why when you're like, this is awful, Mary. Okay? So nice and easy up and down, keeping those legs wide. And then you're gonna stay up on our bridge, and we are pulsing those knees wide again, right? So we're going right back to that pulse. You wanna keep control of that resistance. Don't let those legs relax in. I know it burns. I know you don't like me very much right now, but that's okay. I'm doing it with you, right? And my band might tear and snap me, so there, okay? So controlling those legs, if you don't wanna do the slow one, you don't have to. You could go fast, but by this point, no matter what you do, fast or slow, it burns. In 5 seconds, we've got another fun isometric hold. Yay, isometric. So keeping those knees wide, press those hips up as high as possible, squeeze those glutes. It's not hard to anyways, and we're gonna hold right here. So try not to give in, really, really, really stretch that band, press up as high as you can. You have 15 seconds, right? Keep on breathing with it, keep on holding with it. And we're almost there, kind of, right? You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, so now we're bringing our band back down. This time it's going to be on the arches of your feet. So we're going to work our quads a little bit here. So you have the option. You can keep your head down if you want to, right? Or you could be up in a crunch. It's really up to you. We're going to focus on just our right leg first. So as you're getting situated, I'll show you the move, right? I haven't started, so don't worry. You're gonna bring your right leg towards you as close as you can. Then you wanna come halfway back. So you're not gonna let that leg relax, right? You're kind of pulling it into tabletop and back. Ready? Sure we are, go for it. So you're pulling in and back, right? And remember, your head doesn't have to be up. If you like having your head up, that's fine too. It's really whatever feels more comfortable to you. right? Your core should be fired up. So still think about that core. You're trying to pull that leg in as much as you can. Your quad should be burning, right? Mine's burning. I don't think it feels that fun, right? So just nice and controlled motion. So we have 5 seconds, and then we're going to do an isometric hold here. Woo-wee. I know. Okay, so pull that leg in as much as you can. You're going to hold. So as you're holding there, try not to give in, right? My leg is bouncing up and down because I'm trying to fight that resistance so much. Keep that back down. You're just pulling that leg in as much as possible and holding it there, right? Yeah, isn't that fun? Right, and head can be up, head can be down. It's really whatever you like. I like to have my head up, but I could be kind of an odd duck. I don't know. Right, you're almost there. You've got 10 seconds. Keep pulling that leg in as much as you can. Right, if your leg shakes, that's okay. Mine is. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that right leg down. Left leg gets a turn. Right, so left leg's coming in towards you. Right, and back down. Okay, so remember, you want to hold resistance that whole time. So when you pull your leg, you're only coming halfway back. You want to keep that foot off the floor, right? Your right leg is going to stabilize us in place here. Okay, nice and controlled. Head can be up or down. Thinking of that lower back. Your quad is burning by now. Oh no, and we got our isometric coming for us. Okay, we have 5 seconds. You're doing an awesome job here. You're going to pull that leg in as high or as close as you can. You're going to hold. Right, so isometric hold here. Ooh, that is a quad burner, right? Doesn't seem like it's much because all you're doing is pulling that band, but it's intense, right? So really, really, really focus on holding that resistance. Try not to give in on it. Try to keep on pulling it in as much as you possibly can. Okay, we're almost there. We got about 10 seconds left. Yep. Right, you almost got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Well, isn't that delightful? It was, I know. Okay, so now we're bringing our band. It's going to stay on the arches of our feet. Okay, so what we're going to do here, you're going to be doing a bicycling type motion. So you want to have both of your legs in tabletop, right? And you want to hold that resistance. And we're going to focus on just our right leg. You're going to press your right leg out, and it's going to come right back in. So if you can, you're going to hold your crunch, right? Your left leg would hold that resistance. Okay, so on this, if your lower back hurts, the way you want to modify it is you can keep that left leg down, right? And you could have your right leg extend out and in. Here, it just won't go as far, right? So the band would stay on the top of your foot. Okay, we ready? And go. So it's just your right leg. Your left leg is holding that resistance. Right? It's kind of like you're doing a leg press position. So here you are unmodified, right? And if that doesn't feel good, that's okay. You can put a left foot down, right? And kind of slowly extend that right leg out a little bit, right? It's a little bit harder. If the band doesn't feel good, you don't have to use it too, okay? So in 10 seconds, we're going to do a fun isometric hold, right? Kind of. So what you're going to do, you're going to press that right leg out. You're going to crunch over with your right elbow to that left leg, right? So if you're modifying, you're going to just have both feet down and crunch over with your right leg, right? Unless you want to pull your left leg towards you. You could, it's up to you, right? But your quad might be tight, okay? So you're trying to hold that resistance away if you can, right? And if you need to have your feet down, that's okay. We're still crunching over, right? We've got 5, here's 4, here's 3, here's 2, here's 1. So we're going to come right back, right? We're up in that crunch, or your head's down, your left leg is going to kick out and in, right? Out and in. So remember, at any point you can take the band away. If you're modifying, right, you're just doing a smaller slide with that left leg, right? So it's going to be burning up your quads on both of these moves. How fun is that? It's super fun, I know. Okay, we have 10 seconds until we do the crunch over. Thinking of that lower back, right? And you haven't even had to move very much with this band on. Isn't that cool? It is cool. Okay, so keeping that left leg out. If you can, you'll crunch over with that left elbow to that right knee. If you're modifying, you could have your left leg down and keep your right leg up, or have both feet down and crunch over, right? If you have your right leg up, it's just getting that nasty quad burn that we just did, right? So you're holding that resistance. Your core is staying tight. You have 15 seconds to go. Okay, and then we're kind of getting through our workout here. You're almost there. Keep breathing. We've got 5. Here's 4, 3, here's 2, here's 1, and relax, right? Oh boy, this is a good one, isn't it? All right, we got one last fun move here. So you're gonna have the band around your ankles. Yay! Isn't that fun? It is fun. So what you're gonna do here, you have got 2 options, right? So actually probably 3. So option number 1, this is kind of the most challenging one. You're gonna have both legs up and you would be in a crunch. So you would do 3 pulses up top, then you would bring your legs down a little bit and do 3 pulses there, and then just repeat coming up and down, right? So if your back doesn't like that, that's no problem. You would stay in tabletop, right? And you would go 3 pulses, and then you would hold for a 3 count, 3 pulses, hold for a 3 count, right? And if you really are sick of having your legs in the air, that's fine too. Just scoot the band up above your knees. You could have your feet together, and you can just keep your hips down and do 3 pulses there, hold for a 3 count, and repeat. Okay, so you don't have to have your feet up in the air if you don't want to, right? So we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna have my legs up in the air, and then I'll kind of rotate through all the options. Are you ready? So holding that crunch if you can, you're gonna go 3 pulses up top, then you'll hold that resistance. Your legs would lower, you would do 3 pulses a little bit lower, hold and come back, right? So if you're doing tabletop, you'll do 3 pulses, then hold, count to 3, right? And repeat that, 3 pulses, hold, and count to 3. Okay, so doing whichever variation feels good to you, as long as you're holding resistance in that band and working your core, that's all that we want to focus on, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, right? And you'd be up 1, 2, 3, right? So if your legs are up straight, your challenge is to see how big of a range of motion you can do with those legs, right? Could you come all the way up and all the way down? Maybe, maybe not, right? It's up to you, right? And if you're in tabletop or if your feet are on the ground, your goal is to add as much resistance as you can, right? And hold that for a 3 count. Try not to let yourself give in, right? Your body should be tired at this point. It's been a lot of glute work, right? We've been doing a lot of muscle fatigue motions here, right? So keep on working through, work through that burn. That's the hard part. Because your body's gonna be like, I don't want to burn anymore. I just want to relax. But guess what? We got 30 seconds left. Okay, you're doing a great job. Keep on rotating through both of these moves, right? So you're either doing a 3 count and a hold or a 3 count with an up and down motion, okay? Doing a great job. We got 10 seconds, and of course we are gonna do a hold, right? You knew that was gonna happen to you. But hang in there, we're almost done. Okay, so on your next one, you're gonna hold your legs as wide as you can, and you're gonna hold, right? So it should be fire. It should be hard, right? You could go tabletop legs. Legs can be up in the air. If you're extra evil, you could have your legs halfway down, kind of in that V, and work your core more with it, right? We got 15 seconds left. Keep on holding on to it. Keep on breathing. Don't let those legs give in. Remember, you could have your legs down on the ground if you need. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Whew. There you are. All the bands you could ever want. You just have to be able to use your glutes now.